Welcome to Motherology, an opportunity to discuss all things motherhood, all the ups and downs and roundabouts and crazy. An opportunity for us to grow and tell our stories and become the best mums we can be, not because I'm going to tell you what to do, but because we're going to figure out how awesome we really are. Song number 4, Remember. Now, this song is obviously about having little kids and parenting them and teaching them things. And right before this song on the album, you hear the screams and yells of young children. All of the interludes, all the little extras on the album are my children. They're actually my kids from videos, like the sound taken from videos of them when they were little. And those screaming children are my 3 boys running down a levee, a hill, that contains a reservoir right behind it in New Orleans in, 2012, I think. And they are running their little legs off and tumbling down this big old hill. I think it was a levee. And it was so much fun. They had so much fun. We were just on the side of the road. And it's this whole idea of remembering. Remember the things that you must know and do to make your life wonderful. It's not about do your homework, make sure you do this on time, keep everything tidy and clean. What do you want your kids to remember? What do you want them to remember from their childhood? Is it that you were a very strict parent who made sure they did everything on time? Or do you want them to remember that they were really loved and that we would stop? We would literally pull over to the side of the road when we saw a big hill that needed to be run or rolled down and get everybody out the car and run down a hill for 10 minutes. What are we trying to give our children in the beginning of their lives? What kind of memories do we want to give them? What kind of parents do we want to be? And this song is truly trying to answer that specific question, because I have a philosophy of parenting, which I shall share, that it isn't what you teach your children, but it is the example that you are to your children that makes all the difference to their lives. If you will take 10 minutes out of your schedule to dance around the kitchen and have some fun and let dinner burn a little bit, or if you will take 10 minutes out of your schedule to play chase with the dog, and they get to see you doing these things and having fun and engaging in beautiful relationships and taking time to cry with someone and laugh with someone, they are going to learn that taking 10 minutes to have some fun in the middle of their day is acceptable and okay. If you turn around while stressed from your day, trying to make dinner, get dinner on the table for 6 o'clock so that we can get to bedtime, we get to bath time, and we can do the stories, and then I can get to actually sit down at the end of the day. If you're teaching them, like, go and have fun somewhere else while I'm cooking, it's not going to be the same example. It's not going to have the same impression on them as dinner's going to be 10 minutes late. Bath time's going to be 2 minutes shorter. Story time is going to be 5 minutes instead of 15. And we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out our routine to make sure you still get to bed. But we all need to spend 10 minutes dancing while the spaghetti's in the pan, boiling away. We just need to put some music on and we need to dance. Those core memories will inform your child's whole life. And this song is basically a list of things that I wanted to remember for myself so that I can be this for my children. I want to embody these things because they will do what you do. They won't do what you say if you don't do it yourself. So if you tell them to have integrity and then you cheat on your taxes, sorry, they always know. They might not know the specifics, but they always know when you're lying. It's incredible. Be the example. Be it yourself. Give yourself permission to live in such a way that you long for your children to live. Give them permission to fulfill their dreams by fulfilling yours. If you say, don't live like I live, they're going to be very confused. Well, why shouldn't I live the way you live? You've shown me that this is how to live, so why would I not do that? And it's a really, it's quite a deep thing, this. This isn't just a throwaway comment here. This is a really big deal. How do you treat yourself? What do you give yourself permission to feel about yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you feel loved? So that you can fulfill what it says at the end of the song. To remember to lead with love and all that it's made of. Remember, remember. Oh, 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 remember. You've got to remember that you are loved. You've got to remember that leading with love means leading sacrificially, means putting others first, but not forgetting yourself. To love yourself is to know that you are loved and to receive it in the most wonderful, beautiful way. So, it's an important song on a much deeper level. And at the same time, it's a really fun song. It was literally designed so that you can take a few minutes out of your day and march around your house. I have a friend called Sarah. She has 5 sons, and I would send her the songs on the album as I was finishing them, and we were putting them all together, and like, what do you think of this one? What do you think of this rough demo of this or whatever? She got Remember, and she said, my boys wouldn't stop playing this song. They would not stop playing it. And they marched around their house and made her march with them, singing the whole song, singing the chorus. And it was such a fun family time for them. And the song is designed to do that for you, to sing it to your children and for your children to sing it to you, to remind you as often as you need it. And it might be 20 times a day, which would be a lot. But maybe for the first day of you hearing this song, this is what you need. It might be once a week from then on. It might be that you play it in the car on the way to school or to work for yourself once you've dropped the kids off. I don't know, but it might be something that you need. And it's such wild orchestration. It's all real, by the way. Every instrument that is played on this album is real. There might be a couple of synthesized noises, but every tuba and violin and flute, they're all real. We had the most incredible orchestra in Hungary, in Budapest, record all of this music. It was such a blessing and a privilege. My goodness, I love classical music. I'm classically trained, which is why I love this kind of sound. And I wanted it on there for the reality of it, but also the kind of circus of it, the beauty of it, the sound of it, the vibration of it. But the circus of this song is real. It's meant to be a little bit crazy, and it's meant to be something that your kids can easily learn and remember to sing to themselves, for you to sing to them. So that's the question. Do you love yourself? Do you give yourself permission to have fun if you want your kids to have fun? Do you give yourself permission to cry or to laugh or to dance around? I think there's been studies done about dancing in the kitchen with your children and how important it is. It's very, very important. It's just as important as getting them to school on time, if they go to school. Whatever is important for your children, that's what's important right now. And I really, really, really love this song. I sing it at the very top of my voice when I'm driving in my car. And I'm sure I draw all sorts of crazy stares at red lights. I don't care. I will wind my windows down and sing louder. That's me, though. I give myself permission to have fun, that's for sure. And I do love to dance in my kitchen. So this is this song. But the thing I want to add, the thing I want to talk about in terms of my particular life and my story when it comes to this song isn't just the parenting philosophy. It's kind of where it came from. So I told you the meaning of Asha's name. Asha Oyelowo, Justice Oyelowo. I have 2 more boys and a girl. You've heard their birthing stories. I feel like you're very familiar with them. I should give you their names. So I also have Caleb and Peniel and Zoe. We have Caleb Oyedeji, Isaac Oyelowo. We have Peniel Oyedapo, Solomon Oyelowo. And we have Zoe Oyepeju, Comfort, Sandra Oyelowo. Caleb means strong, tenacious, stubborn, bold dog. But he's not a dog. He's literally a human. He is everything his name suggests. He is the most wonderful, stubborn, tenacious, enthusiastic, open, empathetic, passionate person I have ever met. He is very much himself, and he brought that into our lives when he was born. He was named Oyedeji, which basically means another one. Sorry, Caleb, but it's like all the attributes of a king that Asher was given also applies to Caleb. Then Isaac, his name Isaac means laughter, but it was the name that God gave Sarah and Abraham's son, Isaac, because he brought his mother laughter when she was told she was going to have a child at like 90. And she thought, moo ha ha, that's hilarious. All right, God, go ahead. And he did. So they called him Isaac. And I'll get into it for the next song again, but I had 2 miscarriages before I had Caleb. And so my mum and dad gave him the name Isaac because he was the child of promise. We had his name before he was conceived, and then we lost 2 babies before we actually had Caleb. And so as the child of promise was given to Abraham, so his name was given to us. So we felt like we were promised to Caleb, and we ended up having him, which was such a beautiful moment. And then a king deserved respect. Peniel, face of God. His name literally means the face of God. It's where Jacob wrestled with the angel. I may have mentioned this. He wrestled with the angel. He saw the face of God. He didn't die. And so he named the place Peniel. That was his name. And his next name, Oyedapo, means a cluster of kings. So we literally have 3 of them now with all the attributes of a king. Asher got the firstborn's name, and then the other 2 got and you as well. And his second middle name is Solomon, which my sister actually gave him. My sister Fiona gave him that name. She felt like it was a sign of wisdom. She just felt like that was the name God wanted to give him. So she was very instrumental in giving him that name. A king deserves respect. Oyelowo. And then Zoe. Zoe isn't a name in the Bible, but it is a word that's given to the name of the life that we live when we live in Christ. The abundant life of God is the Greek word Zoe. So she is Zoe. Her Nigerian middle name, Oyepeju, was the name of my father-in-law's mother, and it means the completeness of our joy, also he told us. And so my parents-in-law had 3 sons. We had 3 sons, and then we had a daughter. And so they gave her the name, the completeness of our joy, which is so lovely. But we also found out that my in-laws were arguing around her name. So she got an extra middle name because my mother-in-law was like, well, if you get to name to her husband, if you get to name her your mother's name, I should name her my mother's name, which was Comfort. So Oyepeju, Comfort are the 2 great-grandmother's names from Zoe's grandparents on my husband's side, and which we loved. But we didn't realise that Daddy had been naming these boys, and Mummy hadn't got a look in. She was like, oh, they're boys, I'll name them. And then the girl came. She was like, right, I'm naming this one. Finally, we've got a girl. And he's like, no, I'm still naming this one. She was like, no, you're not. So we had to let them have one each. There was a fight going on about that. So fair enough. Zoe's got more names. Everybody's happy. And Sandra is my mum's name. And I was so proud of my mum for giving Zoe her own name. I didn't do that. My mum did it. I've told you, my mother was not a wanted child. And she has learnt to love herself so much, enough, that she is able to give her name to her granddaughter in a very loving and beautiful way. It really touched me when my mum and dad said that they wanted to give Zoe the middle name, Sandra, in honour of my mum. It just spoke volumes to me in terms of the song. We're talking about remember who you are loved, remember to follow your dreams, remember to lead with love. And the idea of leading with love, loving yourself, was so perfectly exemplified when my mum gave her grandchild, her own name when she was raised in such a difficult, abusive and hateful way. To love yourself after that is such a huge and wonderful thing. So I love Zoe's name. I love that she's called Sandra in the middle there. And I love that her name embodies a fight that her other grandparents had. Everybody wanted to name the girl. We'd had so many boys. Anyway, those are the beautiful, wonderful names of my children that I did not choose and didn't get a look in on them either. I mean, even my sister chose one of the names. I didn't, which I'm very happy with. I think it's such a blessing. I'm just waiting for my children to have grandchildren so I can name their children. we'll see what actually happens there. Probably won't get the chance. I named one of our dogs Levi. Really like that name. Anyway, I love this song. It's honestly one of my faves in terms of feel. Like, let it make you feel fabulous. Make it march. It's going to make you march around. It's going to make you want to kind of sing loudly or yell or something. And remember that you are loved, so very loved.